All right, guys, super quick tutorial. OCP version 4 has been upgraded with a really cool feature I know you're going to appreciate. It now has a face count, so check this out. These unsubdivided Suzannes are 500 apiece. The subdivided Suzannes are 1968 apiece. So if I go to 501 with everything selected and then the selected ticked on and hit OCP, it's now going to add a one-click proxy to those objects. Now down here in the global controls, you can now switch these all from bounding box or convex, or you can individually go in and switch them one at a time and or adding a custom object. Super cool. You will have a wireframe as well. So if you want to switch this to wireframe, that does show up in the render, but nothing else shows up in the render. So if we wanted to throw in a camera, we'll pull in the view. I think we could switch over to the EV engine and let's make sure we got scene lights and some kind of an HDR. I think this one's fine. And that looks good. Don't have any bass. Let's throw a bass in real quick. Quick tutorial, guys. Not kidding around here. Not kidding. This is just about over. So boom, all these are kind of buried. Oh yeah, by the way, if you do have a material and you want to transfer that material, then you can do that. Let's throw one on this. Actually, I'll un-OCP all that. Let's grab this object by itself and we'll say, hey, you know, this had a material on it. And now when you go to OCP, these selected with that parameter, you can now click on one of these because this pop-up is only going to come up for an individual object, active object that is. Then just click material. If there's nothing there, it won't pop up. Otherwise, that'll show up. It will transfer UVs as well. It's not meant as a one-stop shop for all, but there are some pack islands and margin UVs, so you can kind of play around with that. And there you go. So we'll just render this real quick. You can see those proxies are active, and if we go to render this image, we actually will see the object. I know the lighting is pretty terrible there. And we'll throw one quick little spotlight in. Come on. There we go. That's pretty good. Let's turn that power up a touch. We can now see that a little bit better. And we'll go ahead and re-render that. There you go. That's the way it works. Yeah, so like I said, that is just for preview of the render. Then you can loop through everything and delete all of these. You do have a on-off for the actual modifier. It will loop them all. If you have a huge scene, it's going to take a while. But I did test this recently on a scene I wish I could show you guys, but a customer gave it to me, a fellow Blenderhead slash customer. You know, they bought the add-on. And it's 124,000 objects. It's ridiculous. And the 124,000 objects had 23 million verts. In 2.5 minutes, I was able to OCP the entire scene, which I think is a small price to pay. So if you were to happen to have just a ton of objects in your scene, and I'm not going to be able to reach 124,000 of those. That's kind of ridiculous. But you can test this out in your own time if you wish. We'll add somewhere in the thousands, and I'll just ramp this up a touch. And so we got 1,200 now. I got 1,296, so let's triple that number. And some of these are actually subdivided and some are not. And like I said, my PC is just a 3060 NVIDIA. It's slow. And so now we have subdivided and unsubdivided with that parameter. Select all, and we will now go ahead and do an OCP from 4 million something verts. Give it a second. Down to 1.9 million, and if by chance it didn't grab some of the subdivided ones, you can go loop through, but the add-on seems to work pretty solid. I haven't seen that outside of dev mode. It looks like it got 100% of those. Yeah, okay, cool. There's also an auto smooth in here. You can turn that off if you don't want it on, and yeah, we turn it on or off right here if you don't want the auto smooth on your mesh. And like I said, all this is designed to be temporary. You get you some preview renders, you got a massive scene, you can do something like this, and I think that's really cool. And if I didn't show you the option, and I don't think we even have to have these selected, we can now toggle, like I said, bounding box or convex hull. Obviously you're gonna have to give it a minute and let it kind of loop through everything. And I guess it didn't work because it's not selected. We'll try that again. Yeah, okay, so you got to select them. A lot going on with this add-on now. So that would be the reason you have convex is to better show the original shape of something. And the reason you have bounding box is to better maybe show the shape. And then if you were in here and you just delete everything, like I'm trying to do, since I've got 3,888 objects, it's going to take a second. You won't get any errors because there's a lot of checks behind the scene. It says, hey, see an object, no buttons are popping up until you add an object. And when you do, boom, you now have options. And so real quick, done in like less than a minute, subdivide this, apply it, shade smooth. Here's your last example. This meets the threshold. This one doesn't. OCP it. That one gets the OCP. Go pick it up on Blender Market. This is a collab. The last part of this was written today, and the update is tremendous. So you're now able to handle massive scenes and do this by face count. So whatever your biggest objects are, you can just OCP those. And if you don't want to do it that way, you can go in and just OCP everything. So whatever, make sure it's an active object. You can OCP all of that. And then, of course, you can scale these up or down however you see fit. They're going to come in at half the size. See ya.